and post it. Okay, we're good to go.
Okay. Thank you, Virginia. Well, here we are on the 6th day of April. Nice rainy day in Sault Ste. Marie as usual. Anyway, you have in front of you, welcome everyone to the meeting, and you have in front of you our first item on our agenda is adoption of minutes. Everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes. Any questions or comments on the minutes from anyone? No, there's none. May I have a mover to approve the minutes, please? Robert? And a seconder?
I can second Jen.
Okay, thanks, Jen. And I'll do a roll call and everyone can let me know whether they're for or against the adoption of the minutes. First on the roll call is Councillor Shoemaker.
In favor.
Chris Alfano.
Favor.
Robert Caricato.
Good.
And Dean Greenwood is in favor. Jennifer Flood.
In favor.
Mark Kontalainen.
In favor.
Tracy McClellan.
In favor.
Paul McDonald.
In favor.
And Susan Milne.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And that will also serve as our roll call there, Virginia. Is that, can we do it like that?
Yes, if everybody's, we can see them on camera, then we're okay to do show of hands. But if anybody's on the phone, we need to get a call. So yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. Item number 2 on our agenda is declaration of pecuniary interest. Any declarations? Item number 3, adoption of our agenda. Everyone had a chance to look at the agenda as we proceed through it. Any comments? Okay, may I have a mover to approve the agenda, please?
Move it.
Mark? Okay,
And
Tracy.
I'll second it or whatever.
Okay, Tracy and Mark, thank you. And there's no one here to answer the phone, so we'll just let it ring.
7, 0, 5, 7, 7, 7, 1, 0, 1.
Item number 4 on our agenda, business arising. Virginia, do you have any business to bring forward?
Sorry, I'm actually going to just give you a little bit of a update. You'll notice the agenda looks slightly different than what you're used to seeing. So that's a bit of a change. We are moving from using the old format into a program called eScribe that is used by council. So you're going to see kind of the similarities between the layout. So the way that it's, instead of them being bulleted underneath, 4 is business arising and 4.1 would be the topic of Point to Shane Transit. And I'll turn that over to Brent just to give a bit of an update on the report that went to council.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I thought it looked great when I opened my my package from Sam. Go ahead, Brent.
Sure. Thank you, Dean. Good afternoon, everyone. This report was moved by Councillor Shoemaker, actually, this resolution. And so we brought it back to council at the last council meeting dated March the 29th. Council did pass this resolution to support the transit pilot. And just to give a brief overview again, this will originate, it'll be 23 days starting on June the 26th and ending Labor Day on September the 6th. So it covers every Saturday and Sunday and statutory holiday. So it'll originate from the Dennis Street terminal and along the way, picking up anyone that's along the way, encompassing the new Northern Transfer Point, which is getting set to launch, and then going up to the second line all the way along down to Airport Road, and then going right to the beach. We will enter into the most westerly entrance, which is the campground entrance right now, coming through the park, stopping closest to the beach, trying to minimize idling as best as possible. Our newer units shut off after every 7 minutes. And then if it's possible, we can also shut units down. So we're going to try and minimize that best as possible. Then we'll come back downtown. There's 3 different time frames in the day, departing at 9:15, 12:15, and 4:15, and then returning times are 10:15, 1:15, and 5:15. So we're looking to reach out to the local immigration partnership, social services, and the Goma leadership table to try to get individuals who may have not used this service in the past or have this opportunity, maybe is a better way of putting it, to utilize the beach. So we really think the LIP is really a good service avenue here, along with the DSAB, to hopefully help people that don't have vehicles to let them allow the use of the beach in the summer. So that's pretty much the gist of the pilot. It's being covered from some of our Safe Restart program funding that the city has obtained this year. So we're looking to have that as a pilot. And if it's successful, then we bring those results back and it'd have to go back as a budget request for 2022. So happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Chris.
So is this, I would assume Pointe-a-Shade is city-owned property. Is there going to be, I mean, with an influx of people means potentially influx of littering or, you know, use, just general use. Is there going to be kind of a mechanism for maintenance or, you know, garbage pickup? Is that going to happen throughout this summer?
Good question, Chris. And yeah, we do have that accommodated in day-to-day use with respect to staff that are there. Summer students are there full-time during the summer. We also have a shift supervisor that works out of there as well for oversight. So we have that, plus we have regular pickup. So we're pretty comfortable with the public works team there that we have that. We also have security on site later in the day. So if there's any issues, that we have the security that would take over, I believe, at 3 o'clock later on throughout the evening until the park's closed.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Brent? Yeah, I think that was a pretty complete article, Brent. I look forward to that being embraced by the community. It's excellent.
Thanks, Dean.
Oh, okay. Item number 5 on our agenda is our subcommittee task force updates. 5.1 is stack update. As I said last month, the cycling club launched their fundraising campaign a month ago, and it's been quite successful. I like to report that they have raised in excess of $40,000 to date. There's been a couple of fairly large contributors or whatever. Those of you who are cycling club members, and I know Paul is, there's an excellent newsletter that just came out for the Sioux Cycling Club, which describes some of that stuff. So they're more than halfway there for funding for building their single track trail. And we look forward to them completing their fundraising and getting the shovels in the ground. Any questions?
I have a question, Dean. I had seen on their social media that they were having a bottle drive. Did they postpone that date because of the lockdown?
Yes, they have.
And what's the new date again?
May 8th.
May 8th. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Next subcommittee task force update is Sports Hall of Fame. And I guess we're going to hear from Mark.
Yes, Dean, thanks. So we had our first committee meeting, and we talked about several things about potential date and things like that. We have it looks like it's going to be a virtual, we're betting on a virtual event in November. The exact date is still being determined. Margaret was going to connect with the mayor and such for that. But our next meeting will be on April the 29th. And we're just excited that, you know, it's been over a 2-year gap now. We're excited that we're going to have something in the works, and we can come up with some inductions for this fall.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments from anyone? Okay. Moving on, item number 6 is our new business. And I know that, can we move right into the financial assistance application? Everyone was able to take a look at it. Any questions or comments? Okay, if there's none, could I have a mover to approve that?
Dean, would you like me to read the resolution?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So resolved that the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee endorse the application by Olivia Strzezinski for financial assistance for participation in the Canadian Olympic Trials to be held May 24th to 28th, 2021 in Toronto, Ontario, in the amount of $200 be approved.
And I ask for a mover. Chris, and a seconder. I'll second that.
Sorry, I didn't catch who
I
seconded.
will second it,
Oh,
Virginia.
me? Okay, sorry. I was looking down.
Okay. Do we have anything under new business or correspondence?
Can I ask a
No.
question?
Oh.
This kind of more of kind of intrigued me. So the railings that we have in and around the Beaver Tail location, they're more like a chain kind of railing, as opposed to kind of in front of the mall where it's kind of that 3-tier. Is there a reason behind that? Is that because of the boats? I'm just thinking for safety reasons, and I know I see a lot of kids kind of running around and they get very close to that edge and mom and dad have to go and chase after them. I mean, they get excited when they see the beaver tails and whatnot. So just more of a question than anything.
Virginia, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, it is because of the boats. So there's that one corner section that actually does have fencing at the point where we don't have any boat docking, but any of the cruise ships or larger vessels that we put on the side, depending on their configuration, we need those sections open. So different cruise ships have their ramps in different locations, and we take down the chain when they come in and do the barricading and stuff. So yeah, that's why you'll see it's at the Marina Basin, you've got the railing, and then it goes back to that style of fencing along there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Dean, it's Matt
Yes.
Schumacher. I
Go
think we
ahead,
have
Matt.
to do a vote. I think we have to do a vote on Starzomski.
oh,
Thing.
yes, we
We
do.
did a mover in a second. Yeah,
Thank you, Counselor.
thank you.
And I ask Counselor Shoemaker, what does he, for, okay.
In favor, yes, thank you.
Chris,
In favor.
Robert,
Yes. Yes.
Dean is in favor. Jennifer,
In favor.
Mark,
In favor.
Tracy,
In favor.
Paul,
In favor.
and Susan.
In favor.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
Is there any other new business or comments anyone has?
Me?
Yes, Robert.
Yeah. The whole point of Shane, I understand, or I saw somewhere that the airport's not getting $200,000 until maybe the following. I'm gonna ask this directly. Has council considered maybe using that 200,000 towards upgrading the trailer park, point to Shane? And then my other question is that trailer park gonna be cordoned off so that when people come to beach use, the daily thing, is it accessible or not, or what?
Do you want me to take that, Dean?
Yes, I think, Brent, I'm not that familiar with all the locations out there.
Yeah, maybe I'll speak to two-part question that Robert had. I think the first one was with respect to the EDF fund request, now the CDF with respect to the funding for the airport. So yeah, that would be part of that stream of funding. The funding for the park, the day part, the campground park was maintained by Public Works. It's a separate area of funding, so it wouldn't be able easily just shift that money over because they have to apply and go through the community development fund. With respect to access to the park, they'll have to limit access to the actual campground sites, if that's what you're getting at, Robert, as opposed to the bus being allowed to use that access point to go through. So when you come into the prior Lions Ground and campground, they'd have to cordon off those access points through the campground.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, everyone, I think we've ran out of things on our agenda. We have our next meeting planned for Tuesday, May 4th. So I guess we'll see you all then.
Mover,
May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll move it.
Okay, Susan and Robert, thank you. And we'll just go down our list. Councillor Shoemaker,
Favor.
Chris,
Favor.
Robert,
Okay.
Dean is okay. Jennifer,
4.
Mark,
In favor.
Tracy,
In favor.
Paul,
4.
and Susan.
And good night to all.
Susan, I didn't see any cats in the background when you had your camera on.
That's because they were just attacking my